and welcome to this series of case studies and experiments using PicoScope. That's PicoScope software and also NVH as well, so that's in the Pico Diagnostics software. It really follows cases that I feel no other tool would have got us out of trouble, would have helped us diagnose conclusively what the problem was. In some cases, you don't end up with a diagnosis. You know exactly the depth of repair required, and to actually repair is beyond economical repair. Nevertheless, you've got that evidence that stops those awful incidents happening where it's an awkward discussion or it just becomes a scrap vehicle. In most cases, or it can be that is the case. Okay, so again, another Volkswagen 1.2 litre, the AZQ engine, and this is no compression after fitting a timing chain or timing chain replacement. And this was a case where I very nearly opted to remove the cylinder head because cranking this engine over, I could clearly hear there was no compression. Why was that? The purpose of this case study really is to stop us jumping to conclusions. So whenever you rotate an engine by hand without oil pressure, there will come a point that hydraulic systems will become drained down. The vehicle had stood for a long time. I'd gone in there, I'd done many rotations, backward, forward. Not the right thing to do, I realise, backward, but needs must sometimes. And when it come to finally cranking this over with the new chain, it spun over without compression. With that said, oil pressure was definitely worth a visit in terms of, shall we give this engine a chance to see if it can build its oil pressure and what would be the effects on compression. So this is cylinder 2 we've got here. We've got WPS in cylinder 2. We've got the spark plugs removed from cylinders 1 and 3. And now we're just cranking the engine. So in scope view 1, just have a look. We're cranking this engine for 3 minutes and 6 seconds. So 3 minutes of cranking. Look at the compression waveform. Peak compression at 7 seconds was 2.5 bar. And look at the compression tower. We're always looking for that symmetrical tower, aren't we? Which we haven't got here. We've got a leaning tower. So there's clearly leakage. There's clearly something wrong in this cylinder. But look what happens to pressure. Return to scope view 1 as we continue cranking. So we're around about 1 minute 40 here. Compression is slowly building. As we get over towards 3 minutes, we've now got at 3 minutes 6 seconds, scope view 3. We've got a peak pressure of 7.6 bar. We've got a symmetrical compression tower. And I would say now we are ready to reassemble, certainly put these plugs in and give it a go. And sure enough, as it happens, it cranked over, it started. It was a bit uneven for a while, sorted itself out with hydraulic lifters, oil pressure, etc., and seating and bedding, and we were away. And why I've put this in there was the fact that when I initially cranked this engine, I was ready to take the head off because we hadn't really thoroughly confirmed prior to removing the chain whether or not it had compression. We just assumed that something had gone horribly wrong, a chain was required, but we would try a chain first, then turn it over, see if it would start. So yeah, note to self not to jump to conclusions on that one.